Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. Nice to see a few people who've already tuned in. I just want to start the show. There are not some miserable people in this world. I'll tell you now. It was a little joke. The joke about Classics Vlasic is a joke that's been ongoing on the channel for a couple of weeks since we signed him. Okay, for you guys, I will call him Vlasic. There you go. So all you ones that are moaning and you can't take a joke, go away. Go away. If you don't like it, go away. All the dislikes on the channel, a couple of dislikes in the last video. Grow up. It's a joke. If you don't like it, go away. The name is Vlasic. I know that. But the joke on the channel for the last few weeks is how I've mispronunciated it and that Paul was laughing. And that's why I was sad. So there you go. His name's Nicolo Vlasic. Okay. That's that finished. I'm just so bored of miserable, negative people out there. Go away. Get a life. If that's all you've got is to put negative comments and negative posts on someone's channel, get a life. Shouldn't let it bother me. And I'm sure some of you will be saying, don't let it bother you, Luke. But get a life. Get a life. Get off YouTube and go out. Don't let little things like a geezer on some West Ham channel bother you. Anyway, enough of that. Right. So this is a call-in show, guys. If you would like to come on, please drop a little note in the chat and I'll put you on. Be nice to talk up and, talk about the European game and build up a little bit more to the Manchester United game. Charlie's in the chat already. Hello, mate. I hope you're doing well. Ben says, well said. Yeah, sorry for a little rant there, but I read the comment and I'm like, I'm going live straight away now because I'm fed up with these boring saddos. It was Classic Vlasic. I know the name is Vlasic. I know it is. It's a joke for the video. And if you can't see that, you are pathetic. Oh, stop. I need to stop. Otherwise, I'm just going to wind myself up something rotten. Anyway, guys, so West Ham do play Manchester United tomorrow. Game, one of the games that we all look out for, one of the first games you look out for on the fixture list, barring Tottenham. The first game I always look out for is where it's Tottenham. There you go, like Man City, Man United, Chelsea, etc. It's going to be a greght game. I've just finished watching post-match Friday Night Pint, actually. It's true what they say, whether no one's a Man United fan here, but, as a football fan, you can appreciate someone like Ronaldo. It's going to be fantastic, to see him. There's going to be some, young fans that have, grown up watching him and seeing him for Real Madrid and playing with him on FIFA, etc. But to actually see him in person, is a totally different new kettle of fish. I've seen him play. I've been lucky enough to see him play when he was younger, when he was over the first time. It's gonna be a good game tomorrow. It's gonna be a really, really tough test for us tomorrow. I did see that, David. Ben Rama is injured apparently. They tweeted it out, didn't they? West Ham as well. Bit of a loss, but then I would suppose we'll play a slightly different formation now. Charlie, thanks for that, mate. A couple of you putting that in there now. I suppose that gives us a little bit of an issue tomorrow, that doesn't it? That Ben Rama's injured, and I personally think there may be a change of formation tomorrow. For those of you who haven't watched my review yet, or were not offended by my little joke about Vlasic, then I do use this website called whoscored.com, which basically does a little preview for me. But it's a really, really good website. I do love watching it. So I'm going to answer that question for you now, mate. So who would I go in the back for? What are you guys seeing? Oh, you're seeing that one. I don't see that one. You need to see. So guys, I'll put that back up again. So you guys will want to see. Bear with me. You guys will want to see that one. So the whoscored.com. I agree with what they've put as the team for tomorrow, more or less. So their team for tomorrow is they go with the 3. Obviously, they've put this 3-4-2. I wouldn't play Dawson though. The only changes I would be making is that Zuma comes here for Dawson. Oggy goes in at centre back. Cresswell goes at left centre back, and then Masuaku as left wing back. Sufal stays there. agree with the two in the middle. Obviously, Benrahma won't be fit, so you would expect Klasic to maybe go into that position. Fornals there and Bowen there, or you may have Klasic up top with Bowen there or Fornals there, just swapping a little bit. But yeah, Masuaku would come in here, Cresswell there, Oggy goes there, Zuma goes there, just all moves over. Dawson comes out, Benrahma comes out. That's all replaced by Klasic and and Masuaku. So yeah, that would be my theme. I expect that sort of team to play against us tomorrow as well. Yeah, so something along those lines, I think, guys. Be very, very quick and transitional, I think. Would you go over back five? Yes, I would, mate. We need speed at the back. Ooh. Bear with me, guys. My telly's just switched itself on. That was quite scary. Fab or the other keeper? Fab did okay the other night. I think Areola will play the League Cup game, to be honest with you. Maybe we could do a little talk about that as well in a minute. Maybe Masuaku. Mitchell says, is this a free hit for West Ham, mate? It is, but also we need to look at it as a game, if we want to be there and that sort of team, that's competing for top six. And, we're undefeated in 5 games, mate, 2 clean sheets on a row. Why fear them? Why fear them? Yes, they've got Ronaldo. Yes, they've got Fernandes. Yes, they've got Greenwood, Pogba, blah, 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 all these wonderful players. But don't, listen, respect them, but don't fear them. Do not fear them. We've got the whole of the London Stadium back now, and we all know how good the atmospheres are for them games. So, yeah, I wouldn't fear them at all. Go for it. Point would be fantastic. Win would be wildest dreams. But a loss won't be a disaster. But I hope we don't lose. I hope we can get something out of this game. A lot of pundits are predicting 1-1, 2-2s, like high scoring draws. I'll take that all day long, Mitch. So then obviously we do play them. Unfortunately, we do play them in the cup again, as always. I would expect massive changes to the teams, mate, in terms of that. So for us, maybe I want to see someone like Oki Flex play on Wednesday night. Obviously, you've got probably Lanzini will start again, Areola. Maybe we'll see Krau make his debut in that game as well. Yarmolenko will probably play. I expect it to be completely different, mate. It's not as much as I would love to win that competition. Europa League has to be the priority. So, if you can reduce the game slightly, I won't be too against going out. If we do go through and it becomes a bit of a youth project, fantastic. But yeah, I wouldn't be too devastated if we do go out on Wednesday night. Let me know what you guys think that. Daniela says, yeah, of course Ronaldo's a quality player, but we do need to stop worshipping him like a football god and play to our strengths. And Man United have weaknesses as well. They do. The weaknesses, they're not very good at aerial duels. They do concede a lot of goals. Long range goals seems to be their thing. Maybe we need to, get the shooting boots on, see if we can find someone who can score from the edge of the box. And the offside trap, the offside trap lets them down quite a lot, Daniel. So hopefully, Moyes, Moyes does his research. That Moyes is a clever guy. He would come up with some sort of game plan that hopefully will work. Agree with you on UEFA and the Prem priorities. Biggest weakness is their manager, in my opinion. Moyes probably forgot more than Ollie knows. Yeah, mate, I agree, mate. Ollie, it's a bit of a cliche, but it's like anyone could manage Ronaldo, Fernandes, Varane, Maguire, and get a tune out of them somehow. But actually getting them over the line is a completely different story. And, maybe Moyes wasn't at his time at Man United, maybe he wasn't backed us fully. He did bring some in, but, I do believe he went there with the promises of that Ronaldo was going to go there. This was original Moyes era. I think there was rumours that Fabregas at the time, they wanted Fabregas, and he didn't quite get the players he wanted. So maybe he wasn't fully as backed as, the managers that, followed him. That the one like Mourinho managed to get Pogba back, and Ollie's managed to get, the Varans, the Sanchos and things like that. So maybe Moyes, to to his defence, didn't quite get what he needed, and it was always going to be a poison chalice after the Alex Ferguson role, weren't it? To be fair, anyone look at Arsenal, anyone after Arsene Wenger, has anyone been a success there yet? Not really. The same with Man United won a couple of trophies, and they won you've couple of Europa Leagues and stuff like that since Fergie's gone, but that their whole thing is to win the Premier League. What news have we got today? Is there much other news? Yeah, it's good to have a chat with you, you guys, though. Like I say, me and Paul hopefully be back for a podcast tomorrow, straight after the game. So it'd be nice to see that. He inherited a poor squad. He did an aging squad, again, though, respect to Fergie for, just sucking that last Premier League title. And then it just all went downhill. And then obviously, like you say, mate, he inherited a poor squad, and also he inherited a lot of bad apples as well. Ferdinand, has openly come out and said, he wasn't the best of people when Moyes first went there. Going from, this total leader of Ferguson then to someone like Moyes. I think the players didn't have the respect that they would have had for Ferguson. It was sort of like, the big dog's gone, we can play now. So yeah, after that it's the Leeds game, guys. Another going to be a tough game, but they don't look as good, guys. They really don't. But if anything, they might have a slight risk of going down. Leeds, I don't think they will, but I do think they may have, have been found out a little bit in terms of what you're going to get every week. It's going to be high paced, high energy. I potentially thought Leeds might be a surprise package, but clearly, at the moment, it's not quite working for them. It's just not the same. They were slightly unlucky in the Liverpool game, but yeah, not as good. Not as good this season. In terms of West Ham news, guys, I'm just going on Google here. It's mainly about Ben Rama and stuff like that. David Moyes apparently said that about Jesse Lingard. Apparently, he was never in for Jesse Lingard at all. I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. I can't see that we wasn't in for Jesse Lingard in the summer. Obviously, no Antonio tomorrow. That's a big loss. But yeah, not much else there, guys, to be honest with you, in terms of news. Vlasic as well. How do you think he's doing in the two games we've seen him with Vlasic? I really liked what I see in the Southampton game. He come on, he reminded me of Arnie a little bit when he first come on, strong, looked really dominant. And then yet in Thursday's game, he wasn't as, he didn't impose himself on the game as much. He sort of was getting caught in possession a bit. Listen, I'm not judging him. I'm just, giving feedback on the two performances I've seen. One was really good. The other one needs work. It's going to take him some time. Moyes has the best team in the league. Never seen a squad like this since the 80s under John Lyall. Yeah, one of the best squads I've seen, mate, in my lifetime, without a doubt. Yes, Man United may be top of the league, but all the four teams they play are 14th or lower, and they have not played well in any of them. Will Rice be fit off that long busting goal? He did look leggy in the Southampton game, I have to say. So, and obviously he played 3 games in a row, didn't he, with England? So you're going to be a bit leggy. So, yeah, he'll start. He'll 100% start, and this might be a bit of an audition game for him, because Man United number one target apparently is Declan Rice in the next summer or January, even if they go that early. He'll want to show. What he's about. He'll want to show that he can be the main man. He can be better than what they've got. He can be better than Fred. He can be better than McTominay, Pogba's, etc. He needs to show in this sort of game, if he wants that Man United move one day, he needs to show he's better than what they've got already. Time for new players to step up. It certainly is. But we need to give the new players time. Yeah, I agree with that, Daniel. That's a fair point. Sorry, guys. What else we got here? David Moyes pleased with the fitness. David Moyes. Ben Johnson and Harrison Ashby can save West Ham millions. What about Zuma as well. What about Zuma? What did we make of Zuma on Thursday night? I thought he was excellent. I thought he was fantastic, Zuma. Really calmed Diop down in the game. And I'm really looking forward to seeing potentially him and Ogbonna tomorrow. We know Oggy is one of the best defenders, and still at the moment is our best defender. If Zuma can come in, and them two just be really dominant and really, beast-like, as David said there, we're going to have a really good two centre-backs there. Really, really good in the air. Oggy's still got a bit of pace as well. And I just like that, maybe someone like Diop can look up to Zuma and go, yeah, okay, right, I can learn from him. They'll have that French connection. And he definitely, Diop, that's the best I've seen Diop in a long time. Diop can, he is guilty of being a bit Bambi on ice and, getting a bit, lose his concentration a little bit, but he was really on it. And you'd think that maybe, when you see youth football, you guide a player through a game, or an older player will guide the younger centre-back through the game, or midfielder, striker, whatever. And I get the impression that maybe Zuma, guided Diop and helped him through that game, and then eventually the confidence came through. So, yeah, I just like the way Zuma, at times held the ball and thought, we ain't got to pass it. It's all like this Champions League experience, we haven't got to be in a rush sometimes to get rid of the ball. We can just time waste. We're 2-0 up. I'll bring it forward. I'll pass it around the back. And it's all these things, all these experience that Jesse Lingard brought to the team last year. It's that winning mentality and how to get over the line. These are players that, have won things, and, we need those sort of players for, if we do go on, listen, who knows what's going to happen this season? We could all go claps. We could lose on Sunday and it all claps. But in the other respect, this team to me looks good enough to go on and maybe do something this year, get top six again, or get into the latter stages of the Europa League. And then in these latter stages, people like Zuma, etc., have got the experience of being there and doing it and getting over the line. Rewatching the game again, Ryan, Kurt, and Issa was on during the whole game. Declan just showing again why he's the best CDM who can score goals. We need to utilise Dex better so we can score more goals. I agree. With Ryan Fredericks as well. I did a show, didn't I, a few weeks ago when there was rumours that Ryan Fredericks may leave the club, and I defended. He's a good cover right back. He played really well. He offers pace. He does like a tackle. Yeah, he can be a bit rash and get caught out sometimes. But I like him. There's still a place in the club for him. And it does give Soufal the chance to have a bit of a rest. I love Soufal. Soufal starts every game right back, Premier League. But if there is a chance that we can give him a rest and, Fredericks can get some European football and get a little bit more game time, then, yeah, I'm all for it. Daniel says, David, yes, it's John Lyle team was the team I watched the most, but Harry Redknapp wasted the 91 to 2000 team, which could have been a great, definitely, that's my generation. I'm 36, my first season ticket was 98, 99. And this is the best team since then, the Sinclairs, the Canios, Joe Coles, we don't have to go through them. This is the best team. We've had, good players since then. The Scotty Parker era was Scott Parker. I love Scotty Parker. The Payet year, we had Dimitri Payet, who was, arguably one of the best players in the Premier League, if not the world, during that one season. But this team is the best team for a long, long time. Suchek is being more defensive when Rice goes up, when last season it was the other way around. Yeah, it's nice to transition. It keeps the opposition guessing as well, mate. Who's going to go forward this game? Is it going to be Suchek going to go forward this game? Is it going to be Rice? Is it going to be interchanging through the whole game? I'm all for it, mate. It creates very popular football word now, fluidity. Yes, it is John Lyle team, which was the best, but Harry Redknapp wasted. Cool. Yeah, okay, read that one already. Anything else, guys? Anything else that we can talk about? Moyes as well. Topic covered on Post-Match Point last night. Moyes, how much credit does that man deserve? And I will stand up and say, listen, I didn't want him when he first came back. I didn't. But I did say as well, I wouldn't, I wasn't going to slate the geezer. I was always going to be behind him, because if he does well, that means West Ham's doing well, and he has. He has done well. I'm happy. And I was very quick to transition to, in Moyes we trust, that mantra. Where Port took a little bit longer, but there's no doubt in this man has got good ideas. He's got a backbone to stand up to Sullivan. None of these silly signings coming this summer. He's built a fantastic backroom team. You can see the players will love him. I imagine he has a plan for every player, and that's what every player this year, and since he's been back, they actually look like they know what they're doing. For a long time, I remember, I sat to my dad and I sat in work during the Pellegrini era, even under Slav era as well. You look and you go, what is the plan? What is our identity, and what do them players actually know what their role is in the team? Where now you can see, or just down to silly things like when Cresswell gets forward, Rice knows he has to fill in. We know to press or not press. Do you know what I mean? At the right times, it's just so much better, so much better. It was good to see Cohen Joe Cole on BT Sport. It's brilliant, mate. I'd love to see it. It was good, because loads of people say that, Joe Cole's more Chelsea. He's not, he's very much 50-50 Chelsea and West Ham fan. One of my favourite players as a kid as well, Joey, and Colton, obviously, dream interview to have on this channel one day. Excuse me, sorry. How much will the cup team differ from Sunday's team in your view? Just sort of went over that a little bit, Daniel. Maybe you missed that a little bit. I want to see Okaflex come in. I would like to see Okaflex come in on Wednesday. Crow will probably start as well. Maybe Crow and Noble. Lanzini will probably come back in. Yarmolenko. I think we'll see potentially Fredericks again. Masuaku might start that game. Diop as well. Dawson, Ariola. Depends how weak he wants to go. And there's no disrespect to the players. It just depends how weak he wants to go. I expect Man United will go slightly weaker as well, because obviously they want, they've got the league to concentrate on, and losing that Champions League game the other day, they'll be thinking about the Champions League game the week after, which sort of becomes a must win, because if they lose 2, they start chasing the group. Sorry. Matt says, are you going tomorrow? I'm not. I've got to look after my daughter, unfortunately. I would love to be going tomorrow. But yeah, I am definitely going to try and get back over there this season. Obviously, it's been a long time. I can't remember the last time I actually went, actually. Bloody long time ago. We did win, though, but I cannot remember the last one it was. Just before COVID. Atmosphere will be electric on the back of a UEFA win. It's turned into the fortress. Yeah, we're gradually, starting to make it a hard place to go and play for opposition fans. We've got this game, then we've got a couple away, and we obviously got away to Manchester United in the Cup. Then we've got Leeds. Then we're back, obviously, for the Europa League game. So yeah, that first Europa League game as well, mate. I'll tell you what, that's going to be nice. Some atmosphere in that stadium. Because we go and win that, we would have won 2. We would be on 6 points. How good's that? 6 points already. As I said, I reckon 10, 12, you win the group. So if we can go and win these 2 home games coming up now in the Europa League, flying, mate, absolutely flying. Stuart Pearce has done a video for the new Stranglers song. He's brilliant in it, like the new James Bond, but angry. Oh, I'll have to go and check that out, Acid, mate. Thank you. Seen CR7 when I was a kid. To see him again is going to be class. A huge fan of the player. Don't give a toss back. Yeah, I hate Man United. I absolutely hate Man United. But I've got to say, listen, Ronnie, and I know people are saying, you can't treat him like a god, blah, 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 blah. This man is one of the best footballers that ever lived. He is outrageous how good he is. Absolutely outrageous, mate. I think if Jesse comes on or starts, he will receive a good reception from our mum. Yeah, I agree. And I think if he scores as well, we won't celebrate. He'd do one of them ones. Sorry. Or maybe even do that. What Carlos Tevez did. He'd get a good reception from us. He was, crucial player towards the back end of last season, and he was magnificent for us as well. Change of subject. Did you notice the similarity in Ronaldo's second goal for Manchester United versus Newcastle and Rice's goal against Zagreb? Yeah, well, actually, mate, Ronaldo's one was more. He was played in though, wasn't he? The finish. Maybe the finish was very similar. Because obviously I think it was Fernandez or Pogba played in Ronaldo, didn't he? He took that first touch and ran in, but Rice covered a hell of a lot more ground than what Ronaldo did in that in his goal. But yeah, in terms of the finish, yeah, very very similar finishes. Christopher says, "Hi Luke, a bit off top. Why is the channel called The Free Hammers?" When we first started the channel, guys, back in 2016, if you go back and watch the first ever podcast, it did used to have three of us. It was me and Paul, who still do the channel, and another guy called Lee. He became very boring, very under the thumb of his wife, and just stopped doing the channel with us. Loads of people knew that the channel was called The Free Hammers by then. We'd already had like sort of 2,000 subscribers by then. So, I didn't want to change the name of the channel. And so now The Free Hammers, as it's called, is me, Paul, and you guys. You guys are the third hammer. Okay, so that's why it's called The Free Hammers. But yeah, thanks for the question. Mr. Star, afternoon, Luke and gents. Afternoon, Duncan, mate. Whoops, sorry. Matt Rainey says, there was 3 of them, but now 2. The pals live in US, so that's a bit different. I still think we'll give them a good game with our team spirit and playing for each other, not as individuals. Yeah, mate, I think we'll give them a good game, 100%. We'll be buzzing with confidence. Matt Rainey says, oi, oi, Duncan, maybe you can do an X Factor style competition for the third hammer. Oh, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, but we do have people come on all the time. I'm bit of shame, actually, that no one that usually comes on, like James Fever usually comes on, Little Jake usually comes on, JP's renowned for coming on as well. Who else do I usually have on? Andy Miles as well. None of them in the chat today, which is a shame. It's always good to have a chat with them boys and talk West Ham. But yeah, we will be back tomorrow, me and Paul, with podcast. Hopefully, I think he said, hopefully we can do it straight after the game. Hopefully it's a good result. We're talking about good things. Anything else, guys? I'll tell you what, we'll do a little bit of Ask Us Anything to have a little bit of fun, because I'm only wasting time to when the football comes on, to be honest, when some decent games come on. So yeah, let's flesh that up. Ask me anything. Go on. Let's have a little bit of let's have a fun Q&A. Little fun Q&A. Anything you want. Go on. Anything you want, guys. I can take it. Oh yeah, and if you have just joined us, guys, I do want to say, if you can't take the joke with the Klasic and Vlasic thing, you're very, very sad. Very sad. Like, 3 people disliked my Manchester United preview this morning. And then a guy commented saying, oh, when is this joke going to end? The Klasic and Vlasic joke. Even my 6-year-old child can say Klasic and Vlasic. It's a joke that was on the podcast where Paul was taking a mick at me because I kept pronouncing it wrong. I know that it is Vlasic. I know. And if it upsets you that much, guys, I won't do it anymore. And I'm not saying this to any of you guys in the chat at the moment. This is just to dig out these people, like, grow up. If you don't like the channel, go. Unsubscribe, okay? I don't want people here that don't like the channel, and I don't want people here that just dislike the channel. I want people here that love West Ham and love just watching, us have a chat. Thoughts on Derby County going into administration? Sad times, mate. Sad times. Good club. What used to be a really good club back in the day when they had Palo One Shop and people like that. But this is football, mate. This is football, sadly, now. And the COVID hasn't helped these little clubs. If you spend too long out of the Premier League, it does come back to bite you. Could have been a lot different. Frank Lampard would have got him up that time when Mount was there and Tomori was there. Could have been completely different, but they missed that, and sadly it didn't happen. Jordan says, good eye, Luke. Liquor or gravy? Oh, come on, gravy's just insult, mate. It's liquor all day long. I drink the stuff afterwards as well, so when me and my missus get it, because we do get quite a lot, because obviously Basildon, I live in Benfleet, and Basildon and Southend Robbins, not too far away. So I usually get 3 and 2 because them pies I could just eat them for fun. Them pie mash pies. But yeah, the liquor we usually get big, large liquor like that sort of size. Put it on. After it's finished, mate, I put vinegar in it. Gosh, I'm drinking it, mate. Absolutely drinking it. Get a life. I agree, mate. These people need to get a life. And yep, you tell them, lad. Question. What was your favourite West Ham memory? Mine was watching the early 70s team on TV. Got a few. Last game at Upton Park, bit of a cliche, but what a night that was. Winning 1-0 at Old Trafford on my 16th birthday, Paolo Di Canio. Being there for Paolo Di Canio's goal against Wimbledon. 3-0 at White Hart Lane when Ravel Morrison scored that wonder goal. Beating Chelsea loads of times. Arsenal with Paolo Di Canio absolutely destroyed them. Trevor Sinclair's bicycle kick against Derby. Loads. There's too many, mate. First ever away game that I ever went to was West Ham versus Coventry. We won 3-0. I've seen some great moments. Plough final. What a moment that was. What a great day out that was, seeing us at Wembley and winning. Down the road, I'm in Lee. Oh, well, there we go, mate. I tweeted about that yesterday. Deducted, but not a thing done to the so-called Big Six. It's disgrace. It is, mate. Listen, it's always going to be that way. I don't know if you guys... There's a really good documentary at the moment on BBC iPlayer called Fever Pitch. 2 episodes about the launch of the Premier League. And basically spills the beans that, the Premier League was invented to try and keep Manchester United, Arsenal at the time. Chelsea wasn't that big at the time. But, like Arsenal, Tottenham's, blah, 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 blah. Big. And in hindsight, it has worked. Manchester United are still top there. The only thing that's changed slightly is the dynamics of a Manchester City, a Chelsea getting taken over, for example. Listen, the Premier League hated it when Leicester won the league. And that is why, these things were trying to be put in place with the European Super League. And I'm not saying so much the Premier League hate it, the Sky TV hate it, and stuff like that. So, interesting. Oh, Wolves are losing 2-0. Thanks, mate. Thanks for that. Wolves don't look good either, actually. Wolves don't look great. I was at the 1980 and 81 FA Cup finals. Wow. Lucky you. Very, very lucky. Well, I can only dream of going to a cup final. Obviously, 2006. Wasn't lucky enough to get tickets. Paul got tickets though, but obviously we didn't win that one. So, was it a good day out? Wasn't it a good day out? Do you know what I mean? One of them ones. Anything else, guys? Come on. I'm going to go to its 30 minutes, which is another 7. So I'll go a little bit longer. Yeah, it's always good to talk to you guys. Always good fun. But yeah, I can't wait, guys. I'm really confident for this season. Like I say, if we can get into the Europa League latter stages, and whether it's 32 or last 16, that's when you can start looking at players again in January, thinking, look, we're in the last 16, we're in the last 32. This is what we can offer you. We're in the big boy stages of them cups, and hopefully we're doing okay in the league as well, where we're safe and players are not thinking, we might go here for relegation. That's been a problem for years before, where we want to bring players in, but we're sitting at the bottom of the league. One player you would like at West Ham. I tweeted it yesterday, actually. I don't know whether it's a realistic player, but just because I absolutely love the way he plays football, he's Alan St. Maxim. And I'm talking, more realistic. I'm not talking, obviously, I could easily go Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe, Haaland, blah, 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 blah. They're never, ever going to come to West Ham. But St. Maxim, I absolutely love him. What a player. You cannot stop the geezer. You literally cannot stop him. And if you had him and Antonio up front, Jesus Christ, it would be absolute nightmare for defenders. You got the big, muscly powerhouse versus the speedster trickster. And then if you want to make it even better, you put Traore on the right-hand side, Adama Traore right, Antonio up top and St. Maxim on the left. Jesus Christ, you ain't defending against that. That's impossible. Yeah, you can argue sometimes that their end product lets them down, but the pace and trickery and skill would just be something to watch, wouldn't it? It really, really would. That pace would be absolutely terrifying. Big fan of pacey players. Something we've lacked for a little while, actually. You know, real raw pace. Antonio's good. He's quite pacey. But, you know, I'd love someone with absolutely blistering pace. You know, when Rice goes for that pingy ball, and then someone's there just to go whoa, electric. You know, like a Sterling pace level. I'm talking, not Sterling himself, but someone just electric pace, absolutely electric. I would like Adamo Traore, could be turned into Antonio. Yeah, he's missed a lot this year, though, mate. He has missed some real big chances this year. But yeah, I've always been a fan of him. Paul doesn't really like him from the channel, but yeah, I've always been a massive fan. I remember he tore us a new one against Middlesbrough, you know, and I've liked him ever since them days. I agree, he would be nice and quite possible. Yeah, I don't know how much Newcastle would want for him. You know, Newcastle, you know, they don't look great. You know, a good result yesterday, 1-1 against Leeds. But, you know, if they went down, he might be more affordable. I don't think he'll be there long, though. I think he's good enough to go and do something at a better club. Hopefully not the dirty Spurs. Hopefully, you know, someone like us. Seems like, you know, a sort of team that would go after him, someone like Everton. Everton sort of seems the club that maybe would go for a St. Maxim. Antonio Mislo said, yeah, he did, mate. He did originally. I can totally agree with you there, mate. And it's only, you know, the last sort of year or so where his finishing has come on massively. But yeah, that's a valid point, Dave. Totally valid point. Right, I'm going to go 3 more minutes, guys. So get your questions in, 3 more minutes. And I'll do some more questions. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be West Ham. It doesn't have to be West Ham related. You can ask me anything, as long as it's clean. Yeah, and then we'll finish up there in 3 minutes' time. But thanks for joining me, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. There's only 20 of us, but I like these little chats, you know. It's like you in a room in a pub, you know, having a little chat with your mates. Yeah, it just wastes a bit of time for me on a Sunday. On a Saturday even. I've lost track of the days. Yeah, I'm going to give a few more minutes, guys. Just check in. No comments coming in yet. But yeah, Duncan hasn't said it yet, but can you hit the like button, guys, if you are in the chat? 22 of you's there. Get the like button. Let's see how many likes we've got in a minute. Let's see how many likes there are. Be nice to see how many we've got. How many likes have we got? We're currently sitting on 9 likes, guys. Come on. Get yourself, hit that like button. Hit that like button for me. And let's see if we can get that up to 20 likes. That'd be nice. Nice going. Okay, 11 likes now. Duncan says, I fell asleep coming home from the United game when Eric Cantona scored that goal. Ended up a wagon wrote off car. Daniel says, are you any ground you would not go to? Let me fresh that coming up for you. Sorry. My prediction is top 6 and UEFA final. Are there any grounds you would not go to? No, I'll be honest with you, mate. I'd like to go to every ground. You know, if I had the funds and the time, you know, I would love to have, you know, have ticked off every ground. You know, I'd love to have done that. But, you know, it does take a lot of money and it's a hell of a lot of, you know, football is a huge commitment. It is. And I love football. You know, I was season ticket holder for a long, long time. It was only when my daughter was born that I give it up. But yeah, I miss it, you know, massively. And when my daughter gets a bit older, you know, when she's about 9 or 10, yeah, I'll probably get myself back there. And, you know, I'd love to go to away games all the time. But yeah, it's a huge commitment. It's a huge commitment to do. What do you think of the way VR is being used this season? Seems better, doesn't it? Yeah, I've got to say, you know, it's, you know, not as many dodgy decisions, should I say. You know, seems to be, you know, referees are encouraged to go over to the screen, which I do like as well. So, yeah, I think it's so far, mate, it's being used okay so far. Or should I say Sufal? What is your local football team? Well, when I was a kid, I'm from Canning Town and Plaistow, so West Ham was my local team, Charlie. Now, I don't know, probably there's 2 probably, but you've got Southend about 15, 20 minutes up the road. And then obviously you got Canvey, who are, I think they're a semi-pro team, aren't they? They're sort of a non-league semi-pro team. Yeah, so maybe someone like Canvey or Southend. Yeah, they're probably, if I was growing up now locally. Nice picture behind you, any history of it. Me and my missus are big fans of elephants. Elephants are my favourite animals. That's why it's there. There you go. So it's meant to represent me, my wife, and my daughter, the 3 elephants. Not that we look like elephants, and not that my missus is a big elephant or anything like that. It's just I've always loved elephants. When I proposed to my missus, we did an elephant feeding thing at Colchester Zoo, and all lovely elephants around us and stuff, and that's where I proposed to her. So yeah, it's just always been a thing with elephants. My missus loves Dumbo as well, so I always used to buy Dumbo toys when we first got together. And it's just elephants have always been a thing around. I don't know. Look, I'll even show you. Look, so like for our anniversary, like for our anniversary a couple of years ago, see, got her a little candle with an elephant on. It's just that's all it is. That's the sad romantic in me, guys. There you go. Look, I'm revealing too much about myself. But yeah, that's the history behind the elephants. I'm in the middle of United City and Bolton. Nice, lovely. A few more minutes, guys. Come on, get your questions in. Anything. Come on, anything. Get them in. I'll tell you what I've bought. Look, do you want to see this? Look, I bought it for my cat. Look, my cat's got his new home. Look, he's asleep in there. Look. I bought him a new home because he keeps scratching my bloody furniture, getting on my nerves. So I bought him a big new bed to lay in, and a little scratch pad. Sweet. I deserve a like for that. If you're gonna give me a like, I deserve a like for that. 15 likes now. Come on, let's get to 20. If we can get to 20, that would be really, really nice, guys. Nice interaction. Such a shame that no one wants to come on. I'm gutted. No one wanted to come on today. I love talking to people, but no James, no Andy out there, no JP either. They must all have got lives this weekend. How long does it take you to walk to work? Well, if I actually walked from my house, it would take me about bloody 4 days. No, so what? So I obviously I live in Benfleet. I work in Plaistow, but I'm trying to lose a bit of weight. I'm not fat at all. Do you know what I mean? I'm just, getting 36, just trying to beef myself up a bit, get a bit toned, lose that bit of weight before Christmas so we can all have a treat with the Christmas food. But yeah, from West Ham Station to my work takes about 15 minutes. That's why, them videos usually last about 10 to 12 minutes. That's usually when I've got to work, when I do that Greenway walk. One player from the past you would like to see? What, West Ham player or in general? I'll tell you what, I'll answer both. So West Ham player that I would like to have seen from the past live, Billy Bonds, I think. So highly regarded by a generation of West Ham fans that got to see that man play. Would love to have seen him play. Obviously Trevor as well. Love to have seen Trevor. Listen, it goes without saying, Bobby Moore. Who wouldn't have wanted to see Bobby Moore play? To see the elegance and just the pure gracefulness of the man. And he'd probably have a drink with him in Black Lion or Moros afterwards. That's the sort of time that we lived in then. And another player for West Ham is Alan Devonshire, because he's my dad's favourite player. I'd like to have seen what my dad liked. Obviously I've seen clips of him. And he looks sensational. What a player. But yeah, to actually have seen him live properly, yeah. I got to see Julian Dix live, but I was too young as well. I'd like to have seen, Julian Dix when I was like, say, 15. I got to see Julian Dix when I was like, say, 5. Do you know what I mean? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where I would like to have seen him properly, as an adult and actually enjoy Julian Dix properly. Bonzo, great player. And Charlie D says, hit that like button. Yeah, I'm just going to have another look, see where we're at. We are at 14. It's gone down. God's sake. Come on. Oh, and in terms of the player world-wise, Zinedine Zidane. Absolutely loved the man. Loved him. What a player. What a player. So graceful, so talented. R9 as well. Imagine being able to say you've seen R9 play, when he was peak R9, like just unbelievable footballer. What player? My first game was West Ham at United in 1968. Been a Hammers fan ever since. Made a bad choice. A bad choice, Duncan. It won nothing. Well, you have seen us win some things. All those are great players. That late 70s and 81 was my team. Devo, he used to run like Declan's goal on Thursday. Yeah, all the clips I've seen of Devonshire, just beautiful. You know, the balance and poise of the man, you know, just beautiful feet. I remember when we signed Yossi Bennion, and a few games me and my dad went and watched. He said, you know, Bennion's probably one of the closest he's seen to that sort of technical ability that Devonshire had. Very, very similar in style, very similar in body shape. So, yeah. I would love to have seen Johan Cruyff life. Yeah, what player. What a player. What a player that man was. Georgie Best, someone like that. Once a hammer, always hammer. Yeah, mate. Listen, we're born hammers. You know what I mean? You don't choose to be a hammer. You're born it. You know, something that you have to live with. And thankfully, at the moment, you know, we're going through some good times. You know, and long may it continue. You know, if one thing, you know, what would be progression? Actually, you know, the question's always asked. You know, and you see pundits say all the time about West Ham, don't you? They say, well, what is progression for West Ham? I'll tell you what progression is. In the simplest form, progression for West Ham is to not continually have one good season and three bad. It's to have continuously good seasons. And by good season, I mean not have a relegation battle. Have a 10th, have an 8th, have a 6th, 10th, 8th, 6th, 10th, 8th, 6th. That's progression, you know, and consistently trying to challenge for those top 6 places. I'm not saying finish there. I'm saying challenge for them. When people say, when you get a Simon Jordan and Jim White going, well, what do West Ham want? West Ham fans need to know where realistic they are. None of us are saying win the Premier League. None of us are saying consistently finishing the Champions League. We're just saying we want an end to this good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad that we've suffered for years. And it's not just my generation. I can talk to probably a Duncan and a Danielle that have seen the team for years beyond my time. And they would probably say exactly the same. The 1985 season, finished third, you know, wasn't invested on, wasn't built upon, went bad. 99, 2000 season, wasn't built on. 2016 season, wasn't built on. This is the first time, barring a striker, that we've actually built, where we've bought players that actually go straight into our first 11. And that's what I want to see. I want to see every year that we go again, like we don't rest on our laurels. Bunny was brilliant. Nice show. Thanks, Danielle. Thanks for joining us. One of the first times you've been in. So it's nice for you to join. What's that say? Something 5 efforts and passion play as a team. Competitive in every game. Yeah, and you know what it is as well, mate? It's the passion, it's the energy, it's that team ethos. You know, they all protect each other, they all love each other. You know, and they all lead by example. You know, you've got Fornells that, you know, his original game, Fornells, you know, is a tricky winger. You know, and a very, very good passing winger. You see for Spain, he's slightly different in his style of play. And he's come over and he's really bought into West Ham's methodology. And, you know, he's become undroppable, Fornells. He is that good. He was so good against Zagreb the other day as well. Maybe goes a little bit unnoticed in the Zagreb game. The Leicester game, how good was Fornells as well? All these players are coming over. This, again, back to Moyes' scouting. And yes, he may be Dithering Dave. But he's Dithering Dave for the right reasons. He makes sure he knows. You may be the best player in the world, technically. But are you going to run for me? When we go 2-0 down, are you still going to have your head up ready to go into battle? Souček is. Fornells was a Pellegrini signing, but he's converted him, obviously. Bowen, Antonio, all these players, mentality. And that is what he's building. We have that at the moment, great team spirit. Duncan says his favourite player at the moment is Fornells. Well, we share a common bond, mate, because he is my favourite player as well. Absolutely love him at the minute, Fornells. Benny out, so we will see Vlasic have a decent game. Hopefully, mate, like I say, really, really good against Southampton when he come on. Reminded me of Arnie. There was a point where he stole the ball off one of the defenders in the Southampton game. Was really strong, held the ball up. In the Croatia Zagreb game, I thought he was a little bit dilly-dallying on the ball. Got caught out a little bit, looked just slightly off the pace, but, give him time. I'll trust Moyes. Take a bit of time. It took Bowen a bit of time when he first come in. And then when he did get his first goal, sort of, went for him. It'll take time. It takes time. Not all players, not all players are going to have that impact that Lingard had, when he first came in. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with him. Anything else, guys? Any more questions? A couple more minutes we're going to go for. Been going for a long, long time. But yeah, really, really enjoyed it, as I always do. Just checking the like target again. Currently on 14. Doesn't look like we're going to be at 20, which is a shame. Yeah, I think I'll wrap it up there, guys. Nice little chat with you guys. Really hope you enjoy the game tomorrow. Hopefully, the boys go and do it for us tomorrow. What's this saying here? Ariola needs game. 100% he will start the cup game. Start the cup game, mate. Brentford have a player sent off. Baptiste dismissed at 64 minutes. There we go. Interesting game. I might go and watch that now, mate. Yeah, thank you so much for watching live, guys. Wasn't many of us, but doesn't matter. Gives me more chance of hitting, hitting every comment and reading every comment. The less of us there are, the more likely I am to read out your comments. Great show. Thanks, mate. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with a review, maybe a podcast as well. Hope you've checked out all the content. I know you're loving the FIFA videos and the previews. Trying my best here to get to 4,000 subscribers. I believe we're on 3,550. So only 450 to go. Not much. We should hit that soon. But yeah, I hope you appreciate everything I'm putting in for you guys. I appreciate everything that you guys do when you're on the channel. 18 likes. Get well soon. Yeah, I know it's still lingering, mate. It is still lingering. And Charlie says, good show. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Sorry there was no guest. I wanted some guests on today, but no one wanted to come on. But yeah, until next time, come on, you irons. Keep believing. Let's go.